Hi there, Josh. How are you?
Hi, Nat.
How are you doing? I'm joined here, obviously, with Josh Thornton from Bowls Vic. Really, really great to connect with you. And we're going to be just having a bit of a quick chat just about the great Bowling with Babies program, which we both understand. And for those that will watch this, is a really great participation program that supports women's participation in particular. Something that's really well supported by Vic Health and Bowls Vic as well too. Have you got, I guess, yeah, just really anything that you want to add just around the social aspect, in particular of Bowling with Babies and what the program does offer?
Yeah, no, look, it's been a brilliant program that's been running now for 3 or 4 years. We've seen some really great case studies and stories come from it in terms of either bringing someone from a background that's never had a game of bowls before to the sport for the first time, or bringing mums and dads potentially back into sport that haven't done it for a little while based on the fact that they've had a newborn come into their world, So it's been a really great social program, and there's been some stacks of benefits for the individuals and the clubs themselves involved in the program.
Oh, that's beaut. And I love the idea of talking about the aspect of bringing families as well too. So it's a really great aspect of the program. In terms of a club and an individual, what are some of the real benefits that you may have observed or you may have read or that you may have seen from people and women in particular participating in the program with their bubs?
So from an individual perspective, I think the great is it's very social, it's non-threatening, it's low impact. And you think about a mum who's recently maybe had a baby, and hasn't done a lot of recreation activity since they've had that newborn. It's a really cool sport, I think, to be able to introduce them back into that world. They might have played netball or something a bit more physically back in the past, but lawn bowls being the sport it is, it has an inclusive nature and low impact nature that it allows them to come back and do it at their own pace. I think it's a really great social program. We a key message around coming along, interact with other mums and people in the same situation have been really great for the program. And there's the coffee side of things. Everyone loves a coffee these days, and the mums get to have a bit of a chin wag. So from an individual perspective, it's been a really good program. I think for the club side of things, the benefits for them are it promotes a more inclusive environment and club culture. It has the potential to increase club membership. Whilst I don't think that is a key point or key benefit, I still think there's an element that can happen. It changes the demographics that are happening around the club, but from a participation perspective, I think one of the key ones is club awareness and club location. I've probably got a good couple examples when we talk about some of the examples with regards to that, but it opens up the club to the community. And I think it can be another form of a revenue stream. It may not be directly through the Bowling with Babies program, but it could be through that particular person coming back and playing bowls at a night competition, or they come and have their Christmas party at the Bowls Club. And guess what? The club sees some revenue out of that from that involvement, So there's some really good individual and club benefits from being involved in this program.
Perfect. You've given some really good examples there. Can you talk about, I guess, really a key example that where you have been actively involved in a club where you've seen some really, really, really great outcomes? And I know, just to throw to you just briefly that there was a club that I was actively involved with down in the Golden Plains area, and what we saw was the really great interaction between young people, so women in particular and their babies, and bringing along their toddlers as well too. And a local club had the Jack Attack program going, and club volunteers that were actually helping out to mind the babies as well too. And it was a really great intergenerational program and offering for participation for women, but also added some value to clubs as well too. So yeah, really keen to hear just more about some of the experiences that you have observed.
I reckon the best two examples are the two that have been running since COVID. I rejoined Bowls Victoria back in September, and so obviously joining then, we weren't allowed to do a lot of things, and post-COVID, it's been hard for clubs to get back in and be involved with the local community. But the two clubs I've been dealing with up in my area, Charlton and Swan Hill Racecourse, have been perfect examples of how well the program can run. So to give you an example of Charlton wanted to run a one-off session. They want to run their program, or envisages to run this program in the new year, but lining up with their local council, their local regional sports assembly, has seen them run a one-off Bowling with Babies there in conjunction with This Girl Can Week in their area. and they had 11 mums turn up, and some of the statements and the phrases I hear coming out of the mums were fantastic in terms of the success of that particular program. The first point was, yeah, sign us up for the first Monday in February. We're going to run a 5-week program there and then to run bowling with babies. So that was a tick from my behalf, like, grouse, they're going to come back and do that again. One of the mums said, I didn't know the club was here, nor did I know how to access the club. So I think from that, they now have an awareness of where the bowling club is in their local community. And to follow on that, from the mum who probably leads that mothers group went, we're going to have our AGM down here now at the club, you know. So they're using the club facilities for their own benefit with their own mothers group. And the last little offshoot, which I think is probably one from a club perspective in terms of benefit, was that they run a Wednesday night crackerjack bowls in January onwards, which is their equivalent to their Jack Attack. You know, it's a social, it's a fun format for bringing people into their club. And 3 of the mums signed there on the day to play in that competition, you know. So I saw that as a massive win for that club in terms of running that program. And then the one that I've been probably more heavily involved with, which is in my hometown of Swan Hill. The Racecourse Bowls Club here have been running a 4-week program. It's their 4th week today. And I was only just saying to you before we started recording, that there's 20 mums outside here at the moment, all out there having a game of bowls. The club has already said they want to run it again in the new year. The members are actually getting enjoyment out of it. We've got 4 ladies who come every week. They're nursing the babies, they're pushing the prams, and you can't wipe the smiles off their face. So even just from a social and a mental health perspective, you can see the benefits there from their own club members being involved in the program, you know. And touch wood, we've had some good weather, and the mums are going out there having a good time, you know. So just using those 2 examples are really good examples of how the program can work and how it can work successfully.
Yeah, that's brilliant. There's just, as you mentioned, just so many benefits and so many outcomes. So I love hearing those stories, and particularly love hearing about volunteers as well too, who within the club also give them a more active role in helping support great opportunities within the community as well. Can you just I guess just to add as well too, for clubs that are potentially interested in running the Bowling with Babies program, just what I guess the Bowling Victoria's role is and how they're able to get support just to start the program, and where they can also look for, and also to mention as well too, as a regional sports assemblies, we're also here to help as well too, but keen to hear more from you just about where clubs start to get.
So first and foremost, we have an expression of interest form on the Bowls Victoria website. We have a section there under social bowls and bowling with babies, and if the club was at least interested in having the conversation about starting the program, we'd love you guys to get on there and obviously fill that form in. Claire and myself in the participation team would see that email come through, and we would reach out to you as a club and say, look, we have a club resource guide that can sort of give them a lot of information about how the program runs and sort of the pros and cons with it all. And from there, we liaise with you in terms of, when I say you, the club, about what dates you might want to run it. We link you up with your regional sports assembly, your local health clinic. We're starting to build a database of maternal child health clinics, you know, so we will get you networked and resourced up in terms of making sure you get as best patronage and best participation rates as you can. We have the ability to support you in terms of maybe some funding applications to get some essential equipment like baby rugs, change tables, little mini tents. And the flip side is, if you can't do that, we've probably got some money in our budget to be able to help you out in that space as well too. And then also we have some money there, budget put aside for clubs in paid advertising and using our digital resources and our digital marketing tools, you know. So there's a lot of things we can do to assist. And so we link you up with, say, Nat as well, like yourself, you know, if you're in that from that particular area, and we start building a bit of a plan to sort of when we're going to start and how we're going to do it all.
Oh, perfect. Look, thanks so much, Josh. There's lots of great messages in there, and really, really great for, I guess, just a bit of a promo to really support women in particular to give the great game of lawn bowls a go, bring their bubs along, bring their kids along, and to have really lots of fun and a great social environment. Thanks so much for connecting with us. Always great to chat with you, and enjoy the rest of your day out at nice and sunny Swan Hill. Thanks very much, Josh. Awesome. Cheers. Bye.
Cheers. Bye. Done.